The studio spent millions and millions and millions of dollars marketing the new color purple. So I knew there would be a big problem with the movie's success when I saw this.
Where's my raise? I haven't seen a raise in my income since Proud Mary. And almost had to walk away from Color Purple. Yes, ma'am. Who said what? Yes, ma'am.
Now, I was the first one to not only tell you that this movie was a flop, but I showed you the numbers. Why? Because men lie, women lie, numbers don't. And before I broke this down, everybody was quiet about the numbers, although it was a big deal on opening day. You had Oprah with her announcement when she got the email from Goldstein, and all the blogs picked up the headline that they made over $18 million on day one, the second best Christmas Day opening.
TCP is off to an amazing start.
However, right after Christmas, it was over. I mean, the movie completely tanked. We're talking about a movie with a $100 million budget. Well, after Taraji made headlines for complaining about pay, Fantasia and Danielle Brooks shared their own stories, which also contributed to the overall negative publicity for the film. Oprah came out and responded after social media continued to drag her, and then Vivica Foxx made headlines after she was questioned about Taraji's complaints over pay. The Sisterhood did not like Vivica's response, and the self-proclaimed mean girl miserable witch Gabrielle Union was caught liking a shady comment about Vivica. The Black Sisterhood of Misandry is windmilling in the social media streets, once again proving the Sisterhood is not real. We're going to get into it, but first, take a second to make sure that you're subscribed to the channel and click the notification bell for all updates. Taraji P. Henson, the biggest actress in the new color purple, decided to use the movie's press tour to protest low pay for Black women in Hollywood.
Yes, ma'am.
She started complaining, and I brought you the numbers and explained how this negative publicity sparked by Taraji contributed to the movie's failure. And yes, it's a failure. Now, within the last couple of days, you have large publications reporting what I've been said. The movie flopped after day one. It was number one for only one day, dropped to number 3 the next day, and number 4 right after. And now, weeks later, the box office sales growth is about over. And when I reported it, the box office gross was around $50 million, and now it's at $55 million. The problem is the budget. At the end of the day, math is math. If you spend $100 million on a movie and make half of it back, that's a complete failure. So Taraji kicked off the complaining. The next thing you know, another cast member complained about the set too. That made social media drag Oprah more.
To just have someone just be a guide for us, be our voice box. I remember when we first came in and we were doing rehearsal and they put us all in the same space. Like, we didn't have our own dressing rooms at the time, and they did not give us. Sorry, Miss Owen. We didn't have no food.
She had no idea.
She didn't know what was going on.
She had no idea.
I heard about it.
Oh, yeah.
And you corrected it for us. You corrected it.
Didn't I call you?
Yes, and I was like, Miss O, we gotta fix this. And she said, say less. And was it not
And
fixed?
that's what I appreciated, though. You were our voice, because a lot of times, yes, I've done a lot of TV. I've done a lot of films, specifically independent films, but this is my first studio film. So sometimes you do come in just saying, okay, well, I'm gonna just take whatever they give me. I'm just happy to be here, you know? But you spoke up for us and you showed me how to do that.
It also came out that Taraji had a transportation issue while filming on the set of The Color Purple. She said they gave us rental cars, and I was like, I can't drive myself to set in Atlanta. This is insurance liability. It's dangerous. Now they robbing people. What do I look like taking myself to work by myself in a rental car? So I was like, can I get a driver or a security to take me? I'm not asking for the moon. They're like, well, if we do it for you, we got to do it for everybody. Well, do it for everybody. It's stuff like that. Stuff I shouldn't have to fight for. I was on the set of Empire fighting for trailers that wasn't infested with bugs. When Taraji was playing Cookie on Empire, she was fighting roaches in the trailer on set during breaks, and she was also complaining about these transportation issues when on the set of The Color Purple. Well, all of this was horrible for the movie. It wasn't a good look for the sales, and it wasn't a good look for Oprah. So after weeks of people ripping Oprah on social media, she finally responded.
But before you go, 3 people have stopped me today, Oprah, and said, what is the deal with Oprah and Taraji? What do you want to share with the class? No, I'm addressing that to Oprah.
Oh,
because people
I saw your face.
No, because people
because I
think
know that it's not a deal.
It's
yeah,
not
You
a
but
guys-
people think you're mad, she's mad. I know that that's
Well,
not
first
true.
of all, the thing that is so upsetting to me is that somebody went on and something went viral where they're analyzing us on,
The
on
body
top
language.
of the on top of the
We
Empire
were
State.
tired.
We were
Oprah
cold.
said you were cold.
We were cold. It was cold.
Yeah,
That
there's
was
a
the
whole
fourth thing we
TikTok
had done
about-
that day.
yes.
That was the fourth thing we had done that day. First of all, I just want to say that from the beginning, when I got the first phone call that they were being asked to rent cars because they were in the middle of rehearsal.
Well, I asked for my own car because I like to drive myself. I'm a Southern woman.
So I heard that Taraji was upset because she'd been asked to do a rental car. I personally called Toby Emmerich, who was at the time the head of Warner Brothers, and he said, well, that means we have to do cars for everybody. Then I said, then we do cars for everybody. And if it's necessary, I will pay for the cars myself. He goes, well, we don't want you to do that. So, from that was one thing, trailers were another thing, food was another thing.
And everything got handled.
Got handled.
I just
so
want
I
people
don't
to know
even know
there's no
why. I don't
beef
even know.
between-
You know what? It's so disturbing to me. Why is my name even in this conversation?
Can I say
Because you're
something?
Oprah Winfrey.
Can I say something?
Why is my
Can
name
I
in this
say something
conversation?
before we
Because
leave?
I have just been the champion for everybody. Yeah.
I want to just say one thing. I'm a mother of young kids. Social media has become a thing. Social media has become a thing where they will take something that's not even true and run it and run it and run it.
Yeah.
And sometimes it's almost like you guys, some of the interviews you're posting happened long ago, or it wasn't that, and they will
Pieced
take things.
together and all that
Yes.
stuff.
So at the end of the day, when we first said that this movie was going to be a healing thing at CinemaCon, I knew, without a shot of a doubt, that people would try to break that down. Anything that has healing a part of it, they will do so. So we
All
have
the
to
haters.
overlook all of that other stuff
Yeah.
and keep shining bright, because this movie, The Color Purple, is healing the land,
Yes.
baby. So no matter what, I just want to say,
Yes.
it's nonsense.
There is
But,
no thing.
there isn't anything,
no
because
thing.
what I
There
know
is
is
no
you've been a
thing.
champion of
Been a
Taraji
champion
and everybody.
And everybody.
And
Yes.
that's the only point
And
that
trying to make sure that everybody got exactly what they needed. First of all, I am a producer. Scott is a producer.
Yes,
We
yes.
are not the studio. We are not the studio,
But
okay?
I tell you what,
The
this
stu-
is my first time getting a Golden Globe, and I do not want to miss that carpet, y'all.
Yeah, over the nonsense.
This movie was important because it created a space and roles for a group of black women.
Yes,
that,
and I would just like to say about this whole Taraji, I heard I was trending yesterday because people are saying that I was not supporting Taraji. Taraji will tell you herself that I've been the greatest champion of this film, championing not only the behind the scenes production, but also everything that everybody needed. So whenever I heard that there was something that people needed, I'm not in charge of the budget because that's Warner Brothers. You know, that's the way the studio system works. And we as producers, everybody gets their salary. That's negotiated by your team. And so whenever I heard there was an issue or there was a problem with the cars or there was a problem with the food, I would step in and do whatever I could to make it right. And I believe that she would even vouch for that and say that it's
I
true.
think she would vouch for that. I can vouch for that because I've seen you and your work and behind the scenes, how you step in and you have put your own money
I'm
up.
all for everybody being the greatest and rising to meet the rising of their own life. And so, I mean, all this stuff about there was something online about us being separated at the top of the Empire State Building. On that particular day, we were so cold. So I don't know what kind of body language people were talking about. I was like just trying to stay warm, and that was the fourth thing we had done. And so there's no validity to there being a thing between Taraji and I.
Yeah, I think that people want to find something, but Taraji was talking about Hollywood in general and how the landscape for black actresses. But once again, Color Purple is a space and a place where black actresses thrive.
Well, Oprah defended herself. She said she had nothing to do with the issues they had, but she would fix problems whenever she found out about them. The truth is, if you're looked at as the boss on the outside world, you're going to get all the praise. And when things go left, you will get all the criticism. But Oprah was playing hot potato like, guys, I'm really not in charge. It was the studio this, the studio that, which confirms Oprah is none other than a gatekeeper. She's the face and image, but the real power is behind her and you don't even know who they are. True power isn't just fame or inflated net worth. And the reason why she's responding to this anyway is because there's a gang of people who was nowhere to be found for Monique, but they're snapping at anybody right now who isn't going all out for Taraji or kissing her behind. The Sisterhood even turned on Vivica Foxx. Take a look at why they're upset with Vivica.
We want to know, do you feel like now is the perfect time to have the conversation that Taraji kind of continued off of Monique? You know, you're an actress, you've been out there. Is this the perfect time to kind of talk about that in the right platform?
You know, darling, to each his own. Do you know what I mean? I'm very happy, very blessed, and to each his own. I didn't have that experience, so, you know, but to get your piece out is important. I totally understand that, and I love my girls for looking out for each other, but I'm good.
Vivica says she's happy with what she's doing in her work. She says she loved her girls and supports them, but I guess since she wasn't crying about it, her response wasn't good enough. Vivica was just saying that wasn't her experience. So one of the Flamingos wrote, she hasn't experienced Taraji's success either, and Gabrielle Union was caught liking that. Which is crazy because no matter if you like her or not, you can't deny her talent or her work. Where is Roy Jones Jr.? Because y'all must have forgot. Independence Day, anybody? $817 million at the box office? Obviously, these people had to be born after 2010. Yeah, but go back and pull up her resume. And Gabrielle, she's got a lot more to worry about than what Vivica said. I'm just saying, I don't know when to take her serious. To me, she's always in the middle of a monologue. My thing is, you want people to take y'all seriously, yet you're shading another black woman in the group trying to play down her success. Now, if somebody really pulled up all the resumes and the numbers, y'all gonna lose the rest of them edges. That's why I always say the sisterhood isn't real anyway. And we already knew that. Look how they did Monique. Just a bunch of hypocrites. Now you keep hearing them say they didn't support Monique because they didn't like her. Why? Was she too big? What about Viola Davis? Was she too dark? The main ones crying about colorism and all these other isms, they really do it to themselves. That's a fake and fraudulent sisterhood for you, but I digress. Let's go ahead and get the conversation started. What do you think about Oprah's response, and what are your thoughts on Gabrielle Union and Vivica's comments? Special thank you to Felix. I appreciate you, Felix, for all of your support, as well as Ian, Desiree, Shalita, Donald, X Joe, Dark Power, and Harold. Don't forget that you can support this channel as well. Links to Cash App and PayPal are below. Ladies, fellas, want a balanced analysis, want the truth from a woman's perspective? Then you're going to want to subscribe to this channel and don't forget to like and share.